Hi everyone, it's Game Boy Week, and you guys out there in CGRundertow land have gathered your Sunday best of Game Boys, all cleaned, polished, and ready to impress. I personally have 10 different Game Boys and Nintendo DS's that I've been toting around with me in honor of said week. So plug those wonderful GBAs into your cube and get set for a massive adventure. Recently I reviewed Crystal Chronicles, and now I'm tackling another game that used the ever-so-neglected GBA to Gamecube link cable. 11th in the Zelda series, Four Swords Adventures was released in 2004, developed and published by Nintendo under the watchful eye of Miyamoto. Now, Four Swords Adventures did come out for the Game Boy Advance as a double feature on a cart also containing a port of Link to the Past 2 years prior to the release of this title. So you might be wondering why I didn't just review the GBA version. I will, but there's something completely different that I appreciate and love about the GameCube version. Unlike its Game Boy Advance counterpart, Four Swords Adventures for the GameCube is both a multiplayer and a single-player game. I wholly believe that even if a game is slated as a multiplayer adventure, if you're given the option to play single-player, it should be a good experience. There are a lot of games out there that fall victim to a poor single-player campaign, but Four Swords Adventures is not one of them. The game dynamically changes when you move from single to multiplayer and offers amazing gameplay throughout. The idea is, Link has been split into four after collecting the Four Sword to defeat Shadow Link. Pulling the sword releases a powerful evil force called the Vati, and it's once again up to Link to restore peace to Hyrule. There was a lot of thought put into this game. The art style is a marriage of two spectacular Zelda titles. Menu, sounds, and character design come from Wind Waker, and the combat, environments, puzzles, and music come from Link to the Past. In single player, you encounter more thoughtful puzzle moments as opposed to the more run-and-slice style of the multiplayer. The game is the same, don't get me wrong, but puzzle solving works very differently solo versus with a team. In single player, Green Link leads the pack with other Links following close behind. You're presented with an overwhelming amount of enemies, not usually Zelda's style, but utilizing formations makes battling them less of a challenge. These four formations also come in handy for lifting, pushing, and uncovering secrets. When in single player, you selectively control certain Links to solve specific puzzles. Obviously, in a multiplayer setting, each player controls a Link, and the extra Links are divvied up accordingly. If you're playing multiplayer and enter a cave or move through a doorway, the interior of the structure is displayed on your Game Boy Advance and not on the TV. This game can be played without the use of a GBA, but only in single-player mode. An overlay will appear on screen and simulate what you would be seeing on your Advance's screen. You might think this would break up gameplay or be a pain to continually dart between the screen and the Game Boy Advance, but it all comes together incredibly well for a unique and entertaining experience. Sadly, I left my save file on a memory card that went missing years ago. My mom insisted that it had just gone to live on a farm, but I know my dad shot it behind the house. I loved that memory card. Anyway, I appreciated Kevin taking some time and joining me on my quest to show you some of the creative multiplayer gameplay. We only explored the first world, but this game has a total of 8 worlds with 3 levels and 1 boss fight per each world. I've experienced the game the whole way through, and I can honestly say it's one of the greatest Zelda games I have played to date. There's nothing better than bringing friends with me into Hyrule and taking down Ganon as a team. So grab some dedicated Zelda fans, I'm sure you can find a few, and embark on this epic multiplayer quest.